Welcome to Oz Nomad Destinations. Follow us as we caravan our way around Australia. This is Ed and I'm Bec, and we're finding you the best free and budget camp spots Oz has to offer. Fishing, crabbing and hiking our way through this awesome country. For notifications, click subscribe and hit the bell, and that will keep you up to date. This week we're heading to Forster, Tuncurry, two towns in New South Wales separated by a 631 long pre-stressed bridge, the longest in the Southern Hemisphere. It is situated about 308 kilometres north of Sydney on the coast. The two towns have all the amenities and shops you could possibly need to stock up. This is also where Wallace Lake meets the ocean. Wallace Lake has a surface area of 99 square kilometres. We are staying at Sporties at Tuncurry. It's an RV-friendly sports club. The club offers about 10 or so self-contained caravans or motorhomes, a site for $5 per person, with a maximum stay of 48 hours. There are no bookings, you just rock in and find a spot, and then you pay at reception. The club has meals and raffles, and the meals were delicious and really good value for money. There is also a dump point on site and a water tap to fill up with, though it is on the other side of the grounds, so you would need to fill up before you unhitch if you need to. There are also rubbish bins. Today we are off to Barrington Tops National Park. I've been waiting to tick this off our list for years. The National Park is about 110 k's west of Tuncurry, or a 2-hour drive. You will need to climb over 2 ranges to get there, and most of the road is gravel. There is a sign near the entry that gives you an idea of where all the lookouts are. We took a screenshot and off we went. The roads were all in great condition. We pulled up in the car park and set off the Thunderbolt lookout. We were the only ones there. It's a 400-metre return loop. This is a really pretty walk through moss-covered trees and rocks with little tiny ferns and fungi, and there were grandpa whiskers hanging out of the trees and massive fern trees.
They're pretty cool, aren't they?
Big fern tree.
Yeah, they're massive. All the rocks are covered in moss.
It was just gorgeous. It reminded me of Tasmania. The chill in the air suggested that we were up really high.
Poor old Ed. We are at Thunderbolt Lookout at the Barrington Tops National Park, and I reckon we're about 1,400 feet up. He thinks it's meters, I reckon it's feet. We'll work it out later.
And we were a long way up. Ed wins. It was meters, not feet. The next stop was Devil Hole Lookout. There were drop toilets and a picnic area at this stop. It was also a paved walk to the lookout. On the side of the path were these little lizards. Well, I think they were lizards, sunning themselves on the prettiest of rocks, all covered in moss and fern. They just sat there while I took their photo.
It's a lizard on a log. No, it's a lizard on a rock. skink on a rock.
I reckon it's only about 100 metres to the lookout from this car park. Can't believe how high we are. That really is just a hole, isn't it?
So now we're at Devil's Hole Lookout at Barrington Tops National Park.
There was also white paper daisies. I hadn't seen the little white ones before. We have yellow ones at home. The sun was starting to get low and it was time to head home. We took a different track on the way home and passed this cute creek. We should have stopped for a swim, but we got home after dark. There is a serious number of pelicans in this area. They are like seagulls. They love fish scraps and chips, and they follow you around the park like puppies if you have food. They are so quiet. We drove past one fish cleaning table, and there they all were, standing like good little puppies waiting for a feed. I secretly love pelicans, and the fishermen down here, they publicly dislike them. We went for a drive along Bennett's Head Road and found part of the Bicentennial Walk, with a little pocket of coastal rainforest on top of the cliff that goes to Pine Post Point. Say that quickly, Pine Post Point. Poor Douglas, he must have really enjoyed his walks up here each morning. We followed the headland along and came to Bennett's Head Lookout, a paved walk that runs along the top of the headlands, with 3 lookout decks along the track. It has sheer cliffs and stunning blue water, and according to a guy we passed, we had just missed a huge pot of dolphins. The lookout section finishes with steps that run down to 1 Mile Beach. This was a real pretty beach when the sun was hitting it. Next morning we headed down to Old Bar to the markets, a small town market, and Ed found himself a smoked sausage for breakfast. As we headed back to pack up the van, I had to grab one last bead of oysters. $10 per dozen. It's really a dream, isn't it? Anyway, that's us for this week. We're off to Booty Booty National Park. Keep in contact, stay happy, and we'll see you next Sunday at 6 a.m.